Hello everyone! Today I have another project for you. It is an eBay web scraper. Let's imagine that you want to start an eBay business to sell some product that have a high demand. And to do it, you have to choose a niche or a product to sell. So you might need to get some data about the current situation on the eBay marketplace. And one of the ways to collect needed data is to make a manual research for the goods or categories of goods. But it is enough tedious and a time-consuming task. But some Python programming skills can help you to gather needed data almost automatically. And today we will write an eBay web scraper that will collect some data and write it to a CSV file. Let's start. Open the ebay.com website and let's say I want to research the men's watches category. I am inputting in the search bar the search request men's watches, and we got the search results. And before I write a single line of code, I have to manually explore the eBay website and determine what will do the scraper. So let's open. And I think that I want to collect the title, the price, and the quantity of sold items from here or maybe from here. So the scraper will do the following. It has to make a request to the eBay website and to get the HTML code of index page. This one, a page with the list of products. Then it has to collect all links to the detail pages, this one, this one, this one, and so on. And then it has to parse needed data, title, price, and so on. And then it will export the data to a CSV file. Let's start to write our scraper. I have created the project folder and I'm creating a new Python script with name eBay scraper.py. And now I have to install some Python libraries. So I'm using pip for Python 3. If you are using Windows operating system, you have only one pip. So I'm using pip3 install. I have already installed it. And next I'm creating an entry point of the scraper. If main block. The if condition checks whether the file eBay scraper.py was run directly from the console or not. If the file is running from the console, its name attribute will be equal to main. But if the file will be imported to another script, its name attribute will contain the name of the file eBay scraper. In this case, its name attribute will be equal to the eBay scraper.py. And if this block returns true, then the main function will be called. So I am creating a new function, main, with a pass for a while. The main function will play the role of a hub that will manage the calls of other functions and will collect scraped data. I want to paste here to-do list, and our next step is to get an eBay page. So we need a function that will make requests to the eBay. And let's define a new function and name it, let's say, get page, that will take a URL address as an argument. And the getPage function will make requests with the requests library that we have installed. Now I have to import it. So import requests. Inside the getPage function, I am creating a new variable response that will contain a response of the eBay.com server. The response variable is equal to the call of requests get method get, and the get method take the URL variable as an argument. Next, in the body of main function, I am creating a new variable URL that equals to the address of this detail page. I suggest that we will scrape the needed data first, and then we will add functionality to scrape all links to inner pages. So we have detail page URL that we have passed to the getPage function. And so let's call the getPage function and pass into it the URL variable. Here, getPage URL as an argument. Next, we make a get request here. A server can respond us differently. It can respond with 404 not found error if requested resource does not exist, or can forbid us an access and will respond with 403 error, and so on. And a good idea is to check how the server responded us. And to do it, we can use the OK property and the status code property of the response class. And our response variable is exactly the instance of the response class. So we can use these properties to do such checking. For instance, print response OK. And we got true. It means that the eBay server responds successfully. Also, we can use status code property. We got 200. 200 means that the server responded successfully also. And now I'm creating a new if-else condition. So, if not response OK, any status code except 200. So, if it is not OK, I want to have a message and if the server responds successfully, pass for a while. Next thing, we got the server's response, and now we have to get the HTML code of the page, whose URL we have passed to the get method. And at the same time, to perform the search efficiently, we need to convert an HTML code to a Python objects tree, and we will use the BeautifulSoup library to do it. So I have to import BeautifulSoup class from ps4 import BeautifulSoup. So inside the else block, I am creating a new variable soup. Soup is an instance of BeautifulSoup class. And the constructor of the BeautifulSoup class takes at least two arguments. The first argument is the HTML code of a page. That is response and his text property. The second argument is a parser that will parse the HTML code. And the most efficient and fast parser is the Lxml parser. BeautifulSoup uses it under the hood, but we have to specify it as the second argument. So between quotes Lxml. And finally, the getObject function will return the BeautifulSoup instance, our soup variable. Next step is to scrape needed data. So I'm creating a new function, getDetailData, for instance, that takes the soup object as an argument. And now let's perform some analysis of the page. I will take the title, price, and items sold. Let's start with the title. And my purpose for now is to identify these elements on the current page. So I need a title. right click on it and choose Inspect or Inspect Element. We can see that inspector opened up, and now we can see that the title is an h1 HTML tag with item title ID. So I want to try to find the h1 tag with this particular property, I mean its ID. And here I'm creating h1 variable that equals to the soup object that we got as an argument, and I need to use its method findAll. And I am passing to findAll method name of the tag h1, comma, and its identifying property, that is the ID attribute. ID equals to item title. We can just copy and paste it here, and let's print it out, print h1. I'm sorry, I forgot to call the getDetailData function. So here in the main function I'm calling getDetailData, and as an argument I am pass into it the call of getPage and the URL variable as an argument. Save and run. And we can see that there is only one h1 tag on the page, so here I can use just find method, not findAll method. What's wrong with the find method? The find method returns only the first result, and sometimes we can get unexpected result. So I just wanted to check if the page contains more than one h1 tag. So, but anyway, we can always correct our code. Let's print out again. And now we can see here that the title of the product in English is inside data mtdes attribute of the a tag, but not the text of h1 tag. So I have to correct my search request. So here I'm calling the next find method. And I want to focus your attention that this expression returns the BeautifulSoup object. So we can use BeautifulSoup methods and properties further. And I'm calling next find method. So here I'm looking for a tag, and let's save and run it again. This time we got a tag, and we can see that the data mtds attribute contains needed title. So I need to get the value of data mtdes attribute. How to do that? This expression returns a tag. It's the BeautifulSoup object also. And to get the value of data mtdes attribute, I'm calling a dictionaries method get and passing to it the name of the attribute I want to get. It is data mtdes. Save and run again. And we got the title of the product in English. But sometimes websites use different layout for the same at first glance object. For instance, if a product has a discount, then its layout, a title or a price or something else can have different CSS classes and different IDs. And the BeautifulSoup cannot find the object by our search queries. For instance, let's assume that layout for another product is different. Let's say add something here and I run the script. I got an exception and our script is terminated. Non-type error. And to handle such exceptions, the Python provides try except blocks. So I want to wrap this expression to try except blocks. Try. Our getDetailData function will try to find needed data with this search query. If it fails, then I want to have h1 as an empty string. Let's call it title. Let's go further, and now I need the price. So I'm starting new try except block, and I'm repeating my actions. Price, I think, is here. So right click, inspect, and we can see that the price is a span tag with ID price ISum. So let's find it. I am copying its ID, and here price variable equals to soup find. I'm looking for span tag with ID equals to price ISum. Here price equals to an empty string, and I want to print out the price. We got the span tag, and now we can see that the price is the text of the span tag. So to get the text, I have to use a text property of the soup object. Dot text here. Let's call it again. We got the string, and sometimes strings has spaces at the beginning of the string and the end. So I want to use strip method to read off the spaces at the end and at the beginning of the string. Also, I want to split the string by space. Here's a space, and I can do it with the strings method split. Split, and I'm specifying the space as a separator. Now I got a list with two elements. The first element of the list is a currency, and the second element of the list is the amount. So I want to unpack it. Let's say it will be p variable, and here I'm creating new one, currency, and a price variable that equals to p object. This expression returns a string. Split by space, and here I want to specify also currency. Currency equals to an empty string. Let's start it again, and we can see the price and the currency. Okay, great. Next, I want to scrape the total items sold. So let's check it again. Inspect. I think here is different layout. Span. So we can see here that the total items sold is a text of a tag. This one. And a tag as a child of span container with class sold with feedback. And here there is no such span. So I need to specify the class or ID or some other identifying property to find needed result. So classes are different, but this class vi quantities hot red is the same. So I suggest that we should try this class to find the span, then find a tag and get the text of the a tag. So let's try it. Try sold equals to soup find a span tag with class. Class in Python is a reserved keyword, so we have to use here underscore sign that equals to the class, except sold equals to an empty string, and print out sold. Let's start. We can see our span tag. So next I have to find an a tag. I'm adding call of find method a, and also text property strip again, and we got the quantity of sold items, and this word means sold, like here. The eBay just automatically translates all text to your language, and the language he determines by your IP address. So there is not a sold word, but it doesn't really matter. I need to split this string by space again. Split by space, and I want only first element. So I'm specifying the index 0. And again, I got the total quantity of sold items. Great. And now I want to pack all scraped data to a dictionary. I'm creating a new variable data that equals to a dictionary with the key title. The value of this title key will be title variable, then price, then currency variable, and total sold key that equals to sold variable. And our function will return the data dictionary. The next step is to scrape all links to the inner pages, to the detail pages of each product. And let's look at the index page. But firstly, at the URL address, this one. And we can see that the URL address consists of main part and the other smaller parts separated by ampersand sign. For instance, here, here, and here. And these parts are parameters of a GET request to the server. And by manipulating these parameters, we can get needed output. But now I want to simple the URL. So I am deleting all parameters except our search query, men's watches. I am delete this and this. And let's try it. And it works, and we got the same result. Great, and now I'm scrolling the page down to the pagination block. And this is a pagination block, and when I hover the mouse over page numbers, at the left bottom corner we can see that the URL have gotten one more part, a page number. PGN equals to 6, 5, 4, etc. So to get other index pages, we should just change the number of the page. Underscore pgn equals 2. And we can see that the second page, 3. So by changing the number of the page, we can get another index pages. I'm copying the new URL and copy it here, paste it here. So I want to scrape all links to the detailed pages of each product only on the current page. The other pages are scraped via for loop just with changing the page number. And to get the all links, let's create a new function. Let's say get index data that will take as soup object as an argument. Here try except block, and now I go to the index page, right click and inspect, and here we can see that we need a tag with class sItemLink. Copy the class of the a tag, and now I have to find all a tags on the page with the same class. So here links variable equals to this soup object, this one. I'm calling the find all method to scrape all a tags with class underscore and paste a CSS class sItemLink. Links equals to an empty list. Find all method returns a list. Let's print it out. Print links. And here I have to call get index data function. We got the list. And this is the list of a tags objects, but I no need entire a tag with all its attributes. I need only href attribute, for instance this one. So I'm creating a new variable. Let's say it will be URLs that equals to an list, an empty list. And I want to use list comprehension to fill the list with the URL addresses to inner pages. And I have to use the get method of each element of the links list to get the href attribute. So let's say item get href as an argument for each item in links list. Let's print it out. URLs. And we got just links. And our next step is to iterate this list of URLs with a for loop, and on each iteration we have to call get detailed data function for each URL, the element of the list. So in the main function I need a list of URL addresses for each product. So I create a new variable. Let's say it will be products that equals to the call of get index data function. We got this list of links, and now I'm starting a for loop for URL in products list, and here I'm creating a new variable data, and Then I'm calling get detail data function, then passing to it get page function with the URL variable. This one, the local URL variable. Okay. Let's say it will be a link. And we will get such a dictionary. Let's print it out. Print data. Let's start it. I got an error, non-type object is not iterable. And I think that the problem is here. I forgot to return the URLs variable. Return URLs variable. Again. Okay, we got our dictionaries. Price, currency, total sold. Great. And here we can see in the total sold key these strange symbols. It is unbreakable space. So we can read off this way. So I'm calling the replace method. It's a strings method, and the first argument is what I want to replace. XA0 unbreakable space backslash XA0, and what I want instead. Let's say it will be an empty string. Okay, the next step, I want to save these dictionaries to a CSV file. So I want to create a new function, write CSV, that will get the data dictionary as an argument, pass. And as we want to use CSV, we need to import it. Import CSV. It's a standard library. Inside, write CSV function. I'm using the with context manager to deal with the file. Then I'm calling the open function. And I'm passing to the open function a file name. Let's say it will be output CSV. And if the open function finds the file with this file name, it will open it. Otherwise, the open function will create a new file with the output CSV file name. And also, I want to specify a second argument. It will be the A letter. A means append, and thus new data will be appended to the end of the file output CSV. And this opened for writing file object I want to save to the variable CSV file with the as keyword. Next, I'm creating a new variable writer that equals to the CSV module, and I'm calling the writer method that takes our CSV file object as an argument. And finally, I want to write the content of the data dictionary, this one, to the CSV file, this one. So I'm calling the writer's method write raw. Writer write raw method. And write raw method takes only one argument. So I am creating a new variable. Let's say it will be raw, that equals to a list. And here I am enumerating the keys of the data dictionary in order I want to have in the CSV file. So we have title, price, currency, total sold. Data dictionary, title, then data, price, data total sold. And next I am passing the raw variable to the writeRaw method. Also, I think that it will be useful to pass to the writeCSV function the URL address. So I am adding to the call of the writeCSV method, let's say here, writeCSV function, data as the first argument, data dictionary, and a link variable, this one, as the second. So here I'm specifying the second parameter, a link or URL, let's say it will be URL, and here at the end I'm specifying URL. So let's start it. We got output CSV. Done, and let's look at it in LibreOffice or in Microsoft Office. Okay, there is our data, and we can see here some blank cells. So we can copy this URL and check it with inspector. Again, price, there is a discount, so the ID is different. Okay, how we can solve this problem? We can here to create a nested try except block, and here we can try to find the span with different ID. Span ID equals to msale discount text strip currency and the same level is main try block. So let's again delete it, delete, and start again. Done, and let's open it with LibreOffice. Now we can see that we filled empty cells, but our data is not normalized. I would like to read off the $sign, but maybe the next time. Also, we have blank the title, so sometimes title has different CSS attributes, but it doesn't matter. Let's sort these columns by total sold. It's a D column. Sort D column descending. Okay, and we can see that the most demand and the most successful product is these watches, almost $2. And here, for instance, 1000 sold items with the price almost $85, for instance. I'm sorry. Copy and paste this $85 and 1000 sold, and this one 22,000 sold and $1.50 price. Oh my god. This is the most demanded product at first glance. And if you like the video, please click the like and subscribe. Thank you.